It's time for How to Grow It with Keith Funk, garden expert, author, radio and TV garden show host. Keith and his guest garden pros are here to help you with all your lawn and garden questions. You'll have the best yard in town thanks to How to Grow It with the pros.
Thank you for joining me today on another segment of How to Grow It with the Pros. I'm your host, Keith Funk, and I'm here to find solutions to your lawn and garden problems. With me today in the studio is a recognized lawn expert, John Eden from Revive. John, thanks for joining me today.
My pleasure, Keith. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm glad you're here because we really have our work cut out for us today. My neighbor came over the other day, and Michelle has a small, old female poodle. And this dog runs around in her yard and leaves these brown spots everywhere from wherever she urinates.
Common problem with so many female dogs that are out there. You know, years ago, I had a 45-pound Springer Spaniel, and not knowing to even think to try the Revive product, because Revive's been out there for 30 years, I just used the water hose method and failed miserably. So I continue to have brown spots in the turf. Now I've got a 90-pound Golden Retriever, twice the dog, twice the spot.
Sure. And
what I've learned over the years is how well the Revive liquid works for those spots.
Well, that's a good point right there, because people might be wondering why John and why Revive. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Revive's been around for 30 some odd years now. It's an organic soil treatment combining different elements all working together in a wonderful package. So we've got some organic matter that feeds and stimulates the microbial activity in the soil, that feeds and builds your root system of your plants. Iron, which does basically one thing, darkens the lawn, gives you a dark green color. Most homeowners want that look. And then the wetting agents, the surfactants, help get water deeper into the soil. So when you look at those dog spots problems, I think all three things are combining to control that problem. The key that I've learned, though, Keith, is that you really have to soak those spots. Give it a good, healthy 10, 20-second dousing with the Revive liquid, followed with the water hose to wash it all in. In fact, if she could go to our website, or more better yet, the Facebook page, Michelle would see our 30, 40-second video of me demonstrating that use on one of my dog spots in my backyard.
Well, the ready-to-spray product that you have, the Revive Ready-to-Spray, is so easy to use. You just hook it to a hose and go.
Exactly. And one bottle might last your Michelle neighbor all summer long.
Well, she does have kind of a small dog.
Yes.
But it would work for St. Bernards and Chihuahuas.
Yes.
All of those dogs.
Yeah, as homeowners tell us at the trade shows all the time, it's a common problem. The bigger the dog, the bigger the problem. And when they see and hear about how Revive liquid works on those spots, they feel like they have found a lifesaver. Because many homeowners just give up on their backyard thinking it's for the dogs, front yard's for me.
Well, and there's nothing safe to use for the dogs.
Right.
But they're scared that it's going to hurt the dog themselves. I mean, there's so many things that you can feed the dog to make the urine less damaging. Well, I don't want to drug my dog.
Yes, and I'm not a veterinarian, so I can't advise really people what to give their dog internally to solve that problem.
Yeah.
I tackle the problem when I see it occur on the lawn.
Well, and a dog is, it becomes a member of the family. So you really want to make sure that whatever you're doing out in the yard is safe for that dog to go run around on and even eat the grass, so to speak. I know my dog eats the grass once in a while. I'm not really happy with the results, but they got to do what they got to do, right?
That's the dog's life.
So the part that really bothers the grass when the dogs are out there doing their business in the urine is like a fertilizer burn.
Yeah, for those of us who have maybe ever dumped our fertilizer spreader over, we see a similar type burn. You'll have that crispy brown center, and maybe on the edges it's nice and dark and lush because that area received just the right amount of nutrients. And the same thing with your dog. The outer circle oftentimes is darker, green, a lusher growth. If you could train your dog to go in a certain pattern, I'm sure you'd have the greenest lawn in town, but that's just not possible. So what we have to do is take care of those burns, and a heavy dose of Revive liquid will do just that.
It deactivates or neutralizes those salt problems that are caused from the nutrients in the urine.
Yeah, the surfactants, the wetting agents are helping to leach away that excess salt, that urine from the root zone. You're feeding the microbes. They're going to help break that ammonia down. And then the iron is aiding in that chlorophyll process of that brown tissue to get back green again. So the combination of all three seems to be magic.
And it makes the soil safe again for the roots of the grass to start growing again and to recover the top.
I see results as quickly as 7 to 10 days in my yard when I hit those spots.
That's great. Now, I know a lot of dogs, they'll use just one area of the yard, so they can do quite a bit of damage in a small area. But other dogs have a tendency to go all over the place. They're indiscriminate.
That's right. And I'm in my backyard just once a weekend because of my travel. So when I see a spot, I just soak it good, flush it with the water, and then I'm back to green grass in that spot for seven days later.
Okay. Well, I'll let Michelle know what you've told me, and hopefully she'll go to your Facebook page and see those videos.
Yes, she will see and hear directly how it works.
All right, great. Well, John, thank you very much for joining me in the studio today. Anything else you'd like to add before we go?
Well, for listeners like Michelle with similar problems, go to our webpage, Revive.com, or visit us on the Facebook to see the videos, and they'll see how Revive can take care of many, many other lawn problems.
And flower and vegetable problems as well.
Exactly. Any plant can benefit from an application of Revive.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, John. You've all been listening to How to Grow It with the Pros. Thanks for listening.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of How to Grow It with garden expert Keith Funk. Get all your lawn and garden questions answered listening to Keith and his Garden Pro guests. You'll have the best yard in town thanks to How to Grow It with the Pros.